Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Kalin. I've been a guitarist for over 12 years now, and I've got 2 successful bands and a single album. So today we'll be talking about a brief history of metal. So let's begin with, when was the guitar built? So the guitar is basically a plucked string instrument, and that originated in Spain early in the 15th century, deriving from the guitarra latina and late medieval instrument with a wasted body and 4 strings. The early guitar was narrower and deeper than the modern guitar and was closely related to the vihuela, the guitar-shaped instrument played in Spain in place of the lute. The guitar originally had 4 courses of strings, 3 doubles, the top course string that ran from violin-like pegbox to a tension bridge glued to the soundboard or belly. The bridge thus sustained the direct pull of strings in the belly, and that was circular sound hole, often ornamented with a carved wooden rose. The 15th century guitar was tuned down to CFAD, the tuning of the center 4 courses of the lute and of the vihuela. When was distortion invented? So with the advent of electronics, the possibilities of tweaking the sound of the instrument exploded, and perhaps nobody was gone more tweaking than the electric guitars. Sitting in his Bethel, Connecticut workshop, pedal maker Mike Piera plugs in a vintage electric guitar and demonstrates that Fuzzbox can do by playing part of Cream's Sunshine of Your Love. Without the pedal, you kind of get that sound, Piera says, pretty boring. The box makes the guitar sound fuzzy by distorting its sound. This is something musicians have been intentionally trying to do since the earliest days of amplification, and many credits for the first delivery distorted guitar goes to Johnny Burnett's rock and roll trio in 1956. When did rock start? Rock origins can be traced back to 1940s, with the popular styles of the day country music and blues morphed into new sound aided by electric guitars and a steady drum beat. Pioneering rock artists like in the 50s, such as Chuck Berry, leaned heavily on the classic blues structures while demonstrating a flair as natural-born entertainers. In contrast to the safe pop music of the era, rock's aggressive attack suggested a sexual freedom that was shocking during that conservative age. By the early 60s, Berry's followers, most notably the Rolling Stones, expanded rock scope by transitioning from singles artists into musicians capable of producing cohesive albums of songs. Embracing sex and youthful rebellion in their music, the Stones courted controversy but also elevated rock to new cultural heights. When was metal born? Metal music began in the late 60s and rose to prominence in the early 70s in Britain. The term metal is believed to have come from the hippie movement, when heavy meant deep or serious. The roots of metal can be traced back to 1950s blues, when guitarists started experimenting with the harsher tones. Songs like The Kings in 1964 usually got me centered around 2 heavy distorted guitar chords. The Who and Jeff Beck tried adding feedback to their music, and many drummers started to play louder to compete with the guitars. Who were the first metal band? The first heavy metal act are considered to be Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Deep Purple, often referred to as the Unholy Trinity. Led Zeppelin released their self-titled album in 1969, while Black Sabbath and Deep Purple put out influential records in 1970. The 70s saw metal shed its blues origins, with the act of Motorhead and Iron Maiden infusing elements of punk and increasing tempos with more frantic drums. Despite so many influential acts coming out, metal was still being shunned by the music industry in favor of the punk movement, forcing smaller bands to release music without the support of a label. What are the subgenres of metal? Metal began branching out into subgenres with glam and hair metal acts like Monty Crue and Poison spreading the movement. Thrash metal bands became huge, with bands such as Metallica and Megadeth reaching ever larger audiences, thanks in part to metal act being played on MTV, which started airing in 1981. In the 90s, the grunge and alternative rock took over the airwaves, but metal fans still had the ultra-aggressive thrash of Metallica and Pantera, and Marilyn Manson blend metal with the other genres of forged signature sounds. The last big stir of the industry came in the late 90s and the early 2000s, with the new metal movement. Bands such as POD, Slipknot, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and Korn found success fusing metal with rap and hip-hop. Successful metal acts today include Bring Me the Horizon, Japanese teen group Baby Metal, and Mastodon. Whether it is the mainstream or the underground, metal is sure to continue to evolve. When was djent invented? GoDjent.com, a forum to discuss the genre, was online by 2009. In 2011, Periphery and other bands associated with the style toured together as the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Around the same time, the genre began to gather attention in the mainstream press. Djent is a subgenre of progressive metal. Its distinctive sound is that of a high-gain, distorted, palm-muted, low-pitched guitar. Martin Hagström, guitarist from the Swedish heavy metal band Meshuggah, is often credited with coining the term djent when he used to imitate the loud, distorted, and palm-muted guitar's sound he used. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.